we always include -12?
It depends. Yes. Okay, I understand your point. Yes. Why but the yes means also I can't say directly. Why? The reason is this. Let me tell you. I understand your question. In this question, x plus 12 is greater than or equal to 0. X is greater than or equal to -12. So -12 infinity. That's it. But if the question is, be careful now. What will be? Here, solution will be open 12, comma infinity. Why? -12. Why? -12 makes here -12 plus 12, 0. A number over 0 undefined. For that reason, it must be open. And how can I solve this question? Solution is normally this. There are two cases. The first case is definition of the square root, which means f of x must be greater than or equal to 0. When we solve this, we can say that it is -12 infinitive clause. But the second case, since we have px over qx, where qx must be different than 0. Different than 0. Okay? So in this question, if I take the x is -12, denominator will be 0. For that reason, it can't be. Am I clear now? It depends on
Yes.
if you have just this one. Everything is definition. So what is the definition? Square root of any function. Be careful, any function. Nth degree. So domain is if n is odd number. If n is odd number, domain is all the real numbers, no restriction. And if n is even number, so inside must be non-negative. It means greater than 0 or equal to 0. But by the way, the function itself must be defined. It must be defined also. It must be defined. So I am talking about nth root of, square root of, cube root of, fourth root of. This is the rule for this nth root of. But if you have something 1 over x minus 2 in square root, you should say that yes, 1 over x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0. This is the first case, that's true. But second case, denominator must be different than 0. Okay? Is it okay now? Not okay?
Wait, why is it greater than or equal to 0? If
Uh,
it's
okay. Focus on, please. Just focus on. I am explaining now one more time. Let's start from the beginning. When you have any polynomial function px, like 5x squared minus 2x plus 10, what is the domain? Domain is all the real numbers. Why? Why? Since there is no x that makes px undefined. Domain means simply where is your function defined. So domain means simply, okay, where is your function defined. Now, when I have px over qx, rational fractions, what is the rule? Qx must be different than 0. Why? Since if qx equals 0, it means that px over 0 you have, but number over 0 undefined. So qx cannot be equal to 0. Till here, any question?
no.
Excellent. Now, first I will start with the example and then theoretical part I will give. When you have square root of 100, what is the result? Talk
Plus
please.
or minus 10.
One more time.
Plus or minus 10.
No, it's just 10. It's just 10. You are coming from the British system or American system? Last year, where have you been?
Here.
Which? Here?
Yeah.
That means American system. So this is 10. It can't be negative 10. Okay, let me talk about this then. X squared is equal to 100. Here, this is second degree equation. Second degree equation. That means it could be, or there could be better, there could be maximum 2 real roots. So x squared is 100 means absolute square root of x squared, which is by the definition absolute value of x. So this is just 10. By the definition of absolute value of x, x is 10 or x is negative 10. But when you have root 100, this is just a number. So definition of the square root is result is always positive. Okay? But if you are talking about, there are definitely, I don't want to confuse the other minds, but there is something positive and negative, positive square root and negative square root. With respect to this definition, positive square root is 10, negative square root is negative 10, but unfortunately we are not using this in any book anywhere. So we are just saying that always square root of anything always is positive number. This is default, okay, de facto. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So what I want you this, I want you to know this. Square root of anything, actually n power of f of x, when n is even number, firstly, result is non-negative. It means could be 0 or more than 0. For example, square root of 4, which is 2. Square root of 0, which is 0. But square root of 9, it's not equal to negative 3. We don't have it. Square root of 9 is equal to 3. So result is always one positive number. This is the first thing. Any question?
No.
No. Now, when we talk about the domain, be careful now, nth root of f of x. Now, domain, which means input values. What does it mean? Instead of x, what we write. Be careful, this is not result. Just instead of x in the function, what we are writing. So domain of function f of x is greater than or equal to 0 if n is an even number, such as n is 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. So, square root of anything, for example, x. If I say x must be greater than or equal to 0, why? Here, n is 2. And it means that 4, it's okay. It means that 6 is okay. But it means that negative 4, it's not okay. Why? Negative 4 is greater than or equal to 0? No. Okay? Just 1 second. So, After that, let me go one more time. So when I have nth root of f of x, we said that domain is f of x is greater than or equal to 0. Example, square root of x minus 2. What is the domain? X minus 2 must be greater than or equal to 0. So x is greater than or equal to 2. So it means that 2 comma infinity. So when you choose any number in this interval, the function will be defined and result of the function will be any positive number. Till here, any question? No.
No.
But when I change the question, 1 over x minus 2. First, by using the square root, 1 over x minus 2 could be greater than or equal to 0. It's okay. There is no problem. But since this is px over qx, this is what I am talking, okay? Px over qx. Can you take the waiting room students? If they are our students, our friends, take them inside. Px over qx, to be defined, qx must be different than 0. When I check my question, 1 over x minus 2, so x minus 2 must be different than 0. So here there are two questions. There are two cases. First case, second case. How can it be 1 over x minus 2 greater than 0? It's clear that x is greater than 2, as we did before. But here, how can it be x minus 2 is different than 0? X is different than 2. So what is the intersection of these two things? X is equal to 2 and greater than 2. X isn't equal to 2. On the number line, I can show you. 2 is here. So this is solution. But second solution is, let me use the another color, except 2, everything. So where is the common area? Red and green, where is it common? So it's clear that it is common here. So we say that x is only greater than 2. Why? If I take any negative number, not negative, let me say any number which is less than 2. For example, 1. Put it here, 1 over 1 minus 2, which will be 1 over negative 1. So 1 over negative 1 will be negative 1. So root negative 1, is it defined? Is it defined? No, undefined. Okay? Can I take 2? 1 over 2 minus 2, 1 over 0. Radical 1 over 0. What is that? 1 over 0 is undefined. So square root of undefined, still undefined. We can't solve this. But when I take anything greater than 2, 3, 4, 5, 2.1, 2.2, anything, it will be always greater than or equal to greater than to 0. Who are they in waiting room? With Maya. Yeah. Now, is it okay or not?
Yes.
Let me give you one advanced example, a little bit difficult. What about domain? So tangent of x must be greater than or equal to 0. Remember, how is the tangent function graph? Something like that. Okay? So I have the positive part, I have the negative part, but it cannot be something negative inside. So I have to take only positive part. Okay? Now it comes here trigonometry. I don't want to talk about trigonometry right now, but you can write sine x over cosine x. And then sine x is 0, cosine x is 0, where, and the table plus minus plus or minus plus minus, and there will be solution, but I don't want to talk now. Simply, I want to say this, since tangent x is somewhere positive, somewhere negative, so radical any negative undefined, radical any positive defined. So I have to choose which x value use makes the tangent function is only positive. Okay, so everything is depending on for square root of f of x? Two things. First, f of x must be greater than or equal to 0. Second, f of x must be defined. So example, 1 over x squared. So 1 over x squared, could it be greater than or equal to 0? But also 1 over x squared must be defined. Now how can it be this is defined? If x is different than 0. Okay, so what will be the answer of this? 1 over x squared greater than or equal to 0. For what value of x this is greater than or equal to 0? For everything, for all real number. Why? Any negative number power to positive, any positive number power to positive. So this is always positive. So I can say that all the real numbers domain, but except number 0. Why? 1 over x squared is undefined. When undefined? When x is 0. So for all real numbers, my function is defined, which means 1 over x squared. This is for all x values, it is okay, but only for 0, it's not okay. Why? 0 make this undefined. So domain set is from negative infinity to 0, union 0 to positive infinity, something like that.
It's not included?
Sorry?
It's not included, the 0?
It's not included. This is domain.
Yeah, so we shouldn't put greater than equal to 0, right?
Of course. The reason is it makes it 0. Again, everything is depending on question. If you have only this question, only this, so x squared is greater than or equal to 0. So what does it mean? All the numbers, any x, negative or positive, even 0, make it correct, satisfied. But when you have 1 over x squared, the function is undefined. But only x squared, is it undefined when x is 0? Is it undefined? No. Why? Radical 0 squared, which means radical 0, which is 0. This is defined. For that reason, one more time, do not memorize anything. Understand the concept. 1 over x squared and x squared. So what is the domain? Domain is all the real numbers except 0, which means negative infinity and 0 open. Since 0 makes this undefined, so I cannot take. But here, domain is all the real numbers. Why? 0, it's not a problem. 0 squared is 0, which is 0. But here, 1 over 0 squared means 1 over 0. It means undefined. Why? 1 over 0 is undefined. So I cannot take 0. But here, radical 0 is defined. Is it okay?
Yeah.
It should be, I think. Okay, good. Now,
Sir, question 9, please, from the same page.
question 9 here.
Yeah.
Here or not?
Yes, here.
What is the domain and range of the function shown in the graph? Okay, so first of all, domain means, just let me download this 1 minute. Okay, let's have a look. Now, we are talking about question number 9. Now be careful. What is the domain and range? Domain means where the function is defined. So, define means, this is set A, let's say, this is set B, let's say. So this is function f, 1, 2, for 1 I have 10, for 2 I have 20, for example. I mean, if there is any number on the x-axis, there is one number on the y-axis. Now, First of all, this arrow means, what does it mean? It goes, right, till infinity. What does it mean? When you extend this, there is one x, there is one y. There is one x, there is one y. Right? There is one x, there is one y. So for all x values, I have the y values. I mean, when x approaches the infinitive, y is also approaching the infinitive. I mean, whatever you have as a big number, you have its image on this line. Till here, do you have any question?
No.
So that means infinitive as a x must be in the domain. Why? Infinitive means very huge number. So whatever you have as a huge number here, since there is a row means you should continue, so we continue till infinitive. That means for this x I have, for this x I have, for this x I have y values, different y values. It means it is defined for everything. But here when I look at this is 2. From 2, sorry, for 2, this function is defined or not? I mean, what is the f of 2? When you look at here, what is the f of 2? Can you tell me?
-2.
Why this is circle, open circle? What does it mean?
It means it's
Not
only
included.
Not included. So when x is 2, it's not -2. What about this? Still this is not included, isn't it? Open. So
Yes.
not included. What does it mean? F of 2 undefined. There is no y value. I mean, if you have x is 2 here, there is no y here. But unfortunately or fortunately, it depends. Since in domain I don't have 2, there is no problem. I will say this one. 2 comma infinitive, 2 is open. It means that 2, it's not in the domain. And I see it. Look, when x is 2, if it is in the domain, there must be y value. Open means nothing. Open means nothing. Do I have anything up? No. But here when x is 4, 2. When x is 5, 3, for example. When x is 6, 6, for example. But when x is 2, nothing. Is it okay till here?
yes.
Okay, and then when x is 1, I have something. When x is 1.99999, I have something. When x is 0, I have. When x is -1, I have. When x is -1.1, I have. -2, yes. -3, yes. 1, 2, 3. -4, yes. Be careful now. When x is here, -5, do I have y value? Open circle. What does it mean?
Not included.
Not included. What does it mean? For x is -5, no y. So -5 open union to where? 2. I mean from -5, it's not included. Up to 2, 2 is open. I have in my domain. From 2 to infinitive, I have in my domain, but I don't have anything -6. I don't have any -7 or -8. Why? Since when I go there, -6 is here, -7 here. Do I have any y value? No. Do I have any y value? No. Why? It is finished here. So it means that everything here, yes, 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 here, not here, or let me make it close, for example, yes. For example, if this is 2, this is -4, 2 is in the solution, in the domain, but -4, it's not in the domain. So overall, when I check my question from the beginning, when I check my question, I am writing the domain. Domain is what are my x values who have related y values. So it's clear that -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So -5 is open. since it's open circle I have. And what about -1? Normally it's open, but when I check it when x is -1, yes, it is not here, but it is down here. It is defined. -1 is -1, -2, -3, -4. F -1 is -4. F -5 is undefined. Okay? And then -1, 0, 1, till 2, 2 is here, till 2, everything is defined. But what about 2? F of 2 is undefined. Okay, why? There is nothing here. For that reason, domain is from -5 to 2, but later on I have 2.1. When 2.1, y is here. 2.2, y is here. 2.3, y is here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to continue. Why? There is arrow here. So union 2 to infinitive. Okay, look at one more time solution. Do you have question or not?
No, sir, it's fine for now.
It's fine. Maya and Amna, I am accepting you, admitting you, but you are being out. I don't understand why. Okay, domain is finished. Now range. Range means how the y values are changing. Be careful, not x, y values. So when you look at here, it goes infinitive, right? So is there any y value here? Yes. Is there any, when you go up? Is there any y value? Yes, 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 yes. Here, tell me, is there any y value? Open means, is there any y value?
No.
No. That means from this point up to here, everything it's okay, except this. So let me clean. So what am I going to do? Infinitive, positive infinitive. Up to where? Up to this point. What is this point? 0, -1, -2. So -2 to infinitive, -2 must be open since nothing here. If it's close, it must be also close. Okay? After -2, nothing, 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 nothing. But -2, yes. But since in my question it is not close, it's not dot, so it's open. It's okay. What about okay? There is nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, but there is something here. Yes. And this is interval or just one point?
Just 1 point.
1 point. So union, the point we use these braces. And what is the point? -1, -2, -3, -4. So this is the answer of the question. So range values are -4 and -4 and all the reals greater than tell me -2. How can I express this? Like this, f of x, which is greater than -2, right? Or f of x is equal to -4. This notation and this notation same. F of x greater than -2 or f of x is equal to -4. Okay. Okay, Amna, thank you. Yes, question? Any other question?
Sir, about question 8, how do I know if it's a whole number or a natural number?
Question 8, you wanna solve. Okay, 1 minute. Let me see. In a set builder, what is that? In a set builder and interval notation if possible. Okay. Now, set builder, how can I write? Like this. X such that x is greater than or equal to 11 and x is element of natural numbers, integer numbers, whole numbers. You can say, I mean, n, w, or z. They are all correct. But if you say real, It's wrong. Why? Real means 11.1, 11.2, but it is not here. Okay? You can express this also like that. X, element of natural numbers or integer numbers, whatever, where x is greater than or equal to 11. That's it. If you wish also, you can use this. Now, interval. Be careful now. Interval notation, is it possible? No. When the interval notation possible? Only if your solution includes real numbers. If it's real numbers, we can say intervals. Do I have real numbers here? No. Between 11 and 12, there are infinitely many real numbers. But in this set, I don't have. So interval notation, I can't use. I just use set builder for. Now your questions that I can take.
So in this question, doesn't matter if natural or whole or integers, it doesn't have an interval notation, right?
I really can't hear you well. You talk about natural whole integer. Yes, they could be all, but reals, no. So you can write x, element of natural numbers, x is greater than or equal 11, finished. Or x, element of integer numbers, x is greater than 11, finished. Or x, element of whole number, x is greater than 11, yes. But x, element of real numbers, x is greater than 11, no, I can't. This is acceptable, 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 but this is not. What about interval? If solution it's not real number, you cannot. It must be real to use the interval notation. Is it okay now?
Okay, sir, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Any question? If not, I will start inverse functions. Do you have any other question? Other question, ladies? So, and notation and behavior, I mean, sorry. Question number 4, did you solve it?
Yeah.
Okay. What about number 3? What is the answer of number 3?
You just substitute x with 0.
So answer is D. Good. Number 4 is x approaches the infinitive, f of x infinitive. X approaches negative infinitive, f of x is negative infinitive. So what is the answer? F, no. H, no. G, no. J, yes. The answer is J. Okay, this is the answer. This is okay. Rate of change, delta y, delta x. F5 minus F2 divided by 5 minus 2. Okay, just calculation. What about the question number 5 for this graph?
8.
8. What about if question is local maximum?
It would be negative.
Negative 1. Actually, not negative 1. 8 means, so this is 4 units. 4 and I'm scaling is 1 square is 4 units. So it is negative 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Lesson is finished.